lot of people stand up to tune with all that. Nothing, there's no right way. I tune left-handed. We start with a C fork, which comes out at 523.3 cycles per second. Knock it on the knee, sound. All right, so the fork is moving at 523.3 times per second. So we put in the mute, which will knock off. I'm sounding one string only on C above middle C. I take the fork. It's more or less there. Let's just break it. Okay, so that's the left-hand string. Assume that's right. Take the mute out. I tune the middle string. Listen. You hear the wave? Hear that? Right, I'm going to put it into the unison. Two notes are sounding as one now, okay? The third string, that's the right-hand string. Okay? Right, so we go to the octave below, which is middle C. Right, a slight wave there. So same procedure, mute, in, bring it up sharp a little. Okay, there we are. That's not bad. The third note is E. Right, so the octave must be perfect. It must be straight, smooth, no vibration. Well, let's put the fifth in, which is the G. It should be like an octave, like a unison. You normally flatten it. That sounds a bit flat to that. Okay? So you have that sort of Chinese unison sound. Okay, that's that. Okay? So you got that smooth. They're all smooth. No beats there. Put the third in. The third has got to be what you call rough. It has not the best of pianos to demonstrate on. That's about 1925. Let's take that out. So what you have is the octave, the unison, the fifth, and then you put the third in, which is rough, but that gives it the glow. That gives it the vibrance. And so you go through, you tune what you call, you set the scale, it's laying the bearings, you temper the scale. These are descending thirds. Let us hear the beats. There's a shake there, a shimmer. And it gets slower as we go down. It would be better to actually demonstrate this on the player piano, just to hear the beats.
Okay.
You see, now let us. That's the C and the E. The third note is the fifth semitone. So a major chord is a first, third, and a fifth. A minor chord is a flattened third. You flatten the third. A diminished is a flattened third, fifth, with a sixth added. An augmented is the sharpened fifth. So these are tests, but I mainly use the thirds and sixths. This is player piano, trade name Pianola piano, which is restricted to certain manufacturers, I think, Stech, Farah, and the Voti company. But the real name of it is a reproducing piano or a player piano. And this is the roll. I will rewind this roll, which is...
So you're pedaling it?
So that's it, right, okay, I'll go through the motions here. I'm going to hook it up. These rolls are punched out on a machine by a pianist in a studio, just punched out. They're made to this day in the United States of America. You can get them. I believe there was a company in Britain that did them, but here we go. Let us pedal. This is Cole Porter's I Get a Kick Out of You, or I Get a Kick Out of Rue. Here we go. take the tempo lever to the left. Okay, now this particular player piano is sophisticated in that we can change the pitch. Okay, it was on, let's put it back to E flat. Now that's the written key. So here we go. So this is E flat. I raise the notch 1, put the left valve down, the music goes round and round. We go up a semitone to the key of E natural. Take it further 1 up, and that's the last one. Takes it up to the key of F. It's tracking off a bit here. Okay, let's stop, and then we can lower the tone from E flat to C sharp. Let's go down. So that's C sharp, D natural. Let's just take it up. There we are. But let's put it to E flat, the standard written key, which of course is a jazz key. I get the feeling, though it's clear to me, you obviously don't adore me. As you can see, the words are written by the side. So that's the player piano, and plays out like a normal piano as well. So there we are. Well, these modern rolls, which are punched out in New York somewhere, the United States of America, they have the expressions are in with the roll, the dots, the perforations. So we don't need to use the sustain here or the bass or whatever, because it's all there for you. You see, when the pump pedals are down, you cannot play the normal foot pedals because of the obstruction there. You see, so the hand pedal is here. But we don't need it in these modern rolls because it is all built in. Now this is a particular, this particular piano has what you call the duo art control, which means you can switch to a particular roll which is played by, say, 2 pianists together, and this can take it, and it means that you've got 2 piano players, a concert, a duo, and it's called duo art. Watch the hammers. The hammers are, they're all connected to the pneumatics, and the pedal suction activates the hammers which hit the strings as if you were playing it normally. But let's just show you this open. Now see, it's just like this is the overstrung piano. The overstrung piano means the strings cross the bass strings, which are covered wire wound strings, sweep off from the left to the right, crossing over the treble strings, which go down at a slight angle to the left, from right to left. So that's overstrung. These are what you call the dampers. These stop the note from sustaining. Watch this. You see the damper? You play the note, which is C. It rings on until I quit the key with my finger, and it damps and stops it from ringing on. Now the sustain pedal lifts everything away from the strings. It's called sustain pedal, wrongly the loud pedal. Okay? So I release the pedal and it damps and stops the strings from sounding. So this is what you call an overstrung, underdamped piano. Now the tubes, you see, they wind round. They're all into all sorts of bits. Each tube here activates the note, each note. There's one for every note, you see, and there's 88 notes. So each, doesn't matter, it's the telephone, probably somebody looking for a piano. Okay, so as we pump, see the tubes all over, see? All over the place. Let's rewind a little bit. So the levers are all exposed now. This works, the here, you see? Very complicated.
Amazing.
I find I've worked on these, and sometimes they're sluggish and difficult to detect where they're drawing air. But the simple method of finding out where it's drawing air is to have a cigarette underneath or near, and the smoke will billow away, and you know there's a leak somewhere. If there's a one tiny leak, the thing kind of is difficult to pump. It's just got to be right. And this one's good. And that's it. It's a German piano. It's built originally, well, it's a German invention, not invention, but it was a German Stech piano. It's pronounced Stech, but it's known to be an American piano now. Well, in the days of, most people had an upright piano, but they couldn't play it, and so towards the turn of the century, they started perfecting this, and about 1930, they got it right, and it's a wonderful thing. But of course, radio, television came along, and these became virtually worthless.
I mean, you're slightly different from your average tuner, I take it.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think. I mean, there are many tuners. I know I'm never satisfied with my tuning, and I know I'm not the top line tuner. I know that. However, I suppose that I am a musician and I play it, so I do earn money playing the piano. I earn money with a jazz band. And earn money tuning it. But I usually specialise in these older instruments. If the concert hall were to phone me and say, look, our regular tuner is ill, would you come tune the piano? I would do it. However, I may say to them, look, this may not be quite exact, because we all tune a different way. The piano is only as good as the tuning. And we all have different ideas and temper scales and beats and things. I was working on pianos within this building for about 3 or 4 years before I even thought about going into the advertising in the Yellow Pages. I thought, well, I'm not quite ready for this. And then as soon as the people phoned me and told me about their problems with tuners, either, being rude or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of rude tuners and a lot of very nice tuners. I think often it's the customer that can be rude to the tuner, and it's a reaction. But it is a sort of closed shop, and I think to myself, well, there's no way. I mean, I'm quite happy to explain to people what I'm doing. And I know one particular tuner who, I know several tuners that disagree with that. They say you shouldn't really show them what you're doing, but there's no way the layman is going to, after an hour sitting watching me, there's no way they're going to be able to tune the piano. None whatsoever. And I think the more people know about the pianos, the more interested they are and the more they're likely to keep it maintained once I've set it up.